recording first and then I'll start presentation. Okay. Okay, so basically the mantra is very clear at CoVersity. We are saying it's all about discovering one's passion or passions, and really seeing how we can become a professional. How can our youth become professional in their chosen domains? So that's the ideology. But before we kind of go into the details of a CoVersity journey, let's look at a brief understanding of where this started from, right? So Aarohi as a community started in 2008. And it was just so earlier to this, Aditi and Ratnesh, who are the co-founders, they were operating out of Bangalore. They had a very child-led learning center in Bangalore, very famous in Bangalore. And then somehow they thought, okay, why can't the learning extend to living together as well? And that's when the campus, which was gifted to the trust, was formed in the present day as we see it. It's a 5-acre campus closer to Bangalore, near Hosur. Uh, and the idea is we live our life doing what we like doing. And, all of us coexist, co-learn, thrive, co-challenge each other, push it, as you can see in this pic very evidently. So with that thought, uh, ROV started as a community. And somewhere, it so happened that children would come, but somewhere the route was very, eventually the climax, right? It would be 10th, 12th, and college. There would be quite a number of these open learners, as we call them, who would say, hey, I don't want to do the college route. I want to do it, directing my own learning journey. And that's when we thought, okay, why can't this way of learning or this way of self-directing my learning, why can't it be extended to one's professional journey as well, right? Why should it be only limited to the younger age groups? And with that intention and thought is where we said CoVersity that was the genesis of CoVersity, uh, where the idea is youth are directing their learning journey, and they do so by coming together as a cohort. Uh, and they deep dive in their interests. They have the flexibility to deeply explore multiple interests, if that's the case, or whatever they kind of explore and understand which of their interests is really something that they want to pursue as a profession. And this exploration, this deep dive, as we say, they do this by working on client projects, doing internships, connecting with the industry really. So the industry is at this core of their entire CoVersity journey. So whatever is needed to kind of be in that industry or get an understanding of that industry, they start working. So it's all about doing. So for people, many kids are like loving hands-on work. Uh, why should I be studying, reading something, doing theory, and then applying? This is a great way for them to, kind of channelize their interests and passions. Of course, and why this journey helps is because there's a lot of support circles. You have guides who are more like facilitators, ensuring you're on the vision or on the path that you have carved for yourself. There are mentors. Mentors are technical or domain experts, and of course, it's not mentioned here, but the bigger support group is also the Aarohi community. Aarohi has been around for so many years, and we are a very thriving community. So that itself is like, to give it in a very blatant sense, it's your mini network, to say so, because so many families are connected. Each of them is in some industry, but that's a very superficial level of support, really. The sheer fact that you have so many families along with you on this journey, there's a very big emotional support also that you get. ultimately, what are we planning? What are we aiming to be doing with this journey? The idea is to develop expertise in my domain, doing so by industry projects, internships, all that jazz, but also building myself, right? We place a huge emphasis on self-development as well, wherein the cohort is leading their own self-development. They decide, okay, these are the areas we want to develop ourselves. It could be public speaking, it could be communication, whatever, or emotions, or decision making. So all those things. So idea is tomorrow, even if I think of changing domains, I am there to crack it or for myself. We know so many adults change their domains. So somewhere if that's also a possibility, as an individual, I am equipping myself with uh, everything that I need to kind of be in that situation. All right. So this journey, is for someone, if you're very clear about your interest, you're sure, like, I want to do a particular domain, go ahead, do that. If you're not sure, or if you have multiple interests, then also it's a great journey to start with. So we say start with one domain, um, and go deeper in it. And after a considerable amount of time is spent through projects, through internships, you get a chance to review and decide whether you want to be in the same domain or not. So that gives you the flexibility to look at multiple domains before really deciding, hey, should I want to do this or not? Uh, because a lot of times when teens or youth look at interests, they have hobbies, they have, they're interested in a certain field. You doing it at an individual level is one thing, but when you go out into the industry and look at it as a profession, it may seem very different. So by experiencing that aspect of actually being in the industry and doing work related to that industry, you get a sense of whether, hey, I really want to continue further, or okay, hey, this was like a fancy thing that I thought would be interesting, but I want to look at something else. So that's the flexibility that CoVersity gives you. We say there's no selection criteria, there's no rejection criteria, there are no barriers to join CoVersity. It is for you if you are passionate about leading your journey, as in you want to find out what I want to do in my life or what should be my profession, and you have the excitement to come together with other youth. That's the only it's from your side that's required, nothing else. We don't look at any other criteria. No 10th, no 12th, nothing. Anyone between 13 to 21 can join. It's This journey starts with a minimum of 1 year. um, in the sense, you take at least a year to kind of look at one or two domains. And I think that the self development aspect I was talking about, right? 1 year of this kind of a journey with rigor, with intensity, transforms you at many personal levels. And that's why we are saying at least do it for 1 year. uh, if required, take a gap year, from whatever you're doing, and if you want, you can always go back to the mainstream education system. We also offer experiencing weeks, where you come for a week to the campus, see the community, see the campus, see the CoVersity way of doing things, to be deciding whether you want to commit for a year or not. So the entire journey is divided into two halves, or like it is into two phases, wherein some part of the time they are all together at the campus. And they are really this, so this time is used to, uh, get into deeper exploration. Now, this deeper exploration could be they are doing projects, or if they are really building their roadmap into how they see going forward in this domain. So that whole planning and doing work, taking up courses if required, if there's this particular skill set you want to pick up on. So they're doing all this. They could be working on client projects, they could, but they're at the campus, they're not in any other, they're all together. The and the synergy that brings, right? Like when they're together as a cohort, they are holding each other accountable. They are, kind of also adding value to each other's journey with their different perspectives. So suddenly you're not alone, figuring things out by yourself. You have like a good gang of your own to help you out, to give you that emotional support. So, because no matter how much we as adults kind of try to facilitate, be their parents, guides, the way they connect with each other at that level is a very different vibe, really. So, yes, so for some part they're at campus doing all these things. Then comes the okay, this is again at the campus, the whole self-development aspect, their networking, going for events together, all those things are happening. The second bit is the off-campus. Now, you've kind of dedicated some time going deeper in this domain, trying to understand what's happening. Now we say go out in the real world. In the sense, take up an internship, or assist some mentor. If it's a business, start building your business ideas, bringing them to life. Take up volunteering. There's so many ways to really look at industry exposure, but that part, they're away from the campus, so all of them are in their respective cities or homes. That's the off campus. Again, so this journey, it's very simple in the sense, like, this journey focuses on everything that you need to become a professional, whatever the domain be. So you are adding a lot of rigor. You're almost living your interest like a profession, by committing yourself to that kind of a rigorous exploration. You're building a portfolio of all the work you do, all the skill sets you're building, those, things. You have guides who kind of be in touch with you at regular intervals to kind of see that you're on track. Of course, there are mentors who are, the technical experts. So the idea is to build that structure into your entire exploration. Okay, support circles are somewhere we've discussed, like there are guides, mentors, and communities. So I'm moving ahead. If you have any questions, we can take that up. How do you develop yourself professionally on this journey? In the sense, like, you're with the industry from day one. So all your learning, all your working, everything is in tandem with the industry that you're wanting to be in. So, your skill set building, everything is relevant, and your learning is contextual. You're building the domain intelligence that you want to, understand the industry. You're building a portfolio. You're doing a lot of networking to get an internship, to get a mentor. So all this is built in as part of the journey. There's nothing that you learn separately and then, okay, chalo, I'll apply later. No, no. You do work, and in the process, that development happens. This the whole aspect of self-development, right? You are in a cohort already. You are kind of learning the whole aspect of relationships, working with a team, leading your own journey. You are deciding how you want to take this journey forward. Of course, there are guides, mentors who are helping you expand your way of looking at things, but you are deciding, hey, this is what I want to do. So that brings in the aspect of self-leadership. And a lot of the journey is about figuring things out by yourself. So the living skills come in picture in that sense. Now, what can one expect at the end of this journey? Now, I'm not saying every youth will take 1 year. Actually, nobody can really look at 1 year. Minimum 1 year, so that you get a hang of how it works. But let's say some will take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Some can also take more years. That's okay. We are not putting an end to that limit. Uh, the day you feel like you've reached your professional goals, as in, whether it could be of becoming an entrepreneur, or you want to do freelancing, multiple domains, you want to really take up a job, you can say tata bye bye to CoVersity. So this moment you reach your professional goals, and you don't need this kind of an ecosystem to kind of, help you with the journey, you can say tata bye bye. Okay, so with that, we've kind of come to an end of this thing. Maybe I would just like to share a couple of things. Sorry. Yeah, we can really open up for some questions if we have. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of looking at what could the next steps be. One is we can have a further one-on-one along with your child to see, what are their needs, how can we take this forward. You can also talk to parents like VP who are here. You can also connect with them separately. We also have children who kind of had their challenges in terms of with the mainstream education. You can talk to those parents in terms of how this is helping them really tap into the potential they have in the way they want to lead their journey. Then, of course, as I said, you come to the campus for a week at least, especially the teen, and they see this way of doing and get a sense of what the campus is like, what the community is like, to be decided. Yeah, so these are the next. So there's one happening right now on 22nd Jan. We started. The next one is in 19th Feb. Yes, we can open for some questions and maybe we can look at a few videos after that.
So I think, Kritika, I have some questions. I feel like it will be a very detailed discussion. So it would be good if we can take after that one-on-one. Would that be possible?
Surely, Devendra, we can do a one-on-one. But if you have any questions related to the concept, it would be nice if you can ask it here. Others can also benefit from that question. Where say?
So actually, I have seen this myself. I visited Aarohi and Shikshantar, where already all these things is happening. There's a self-designed learning program there also. I have seen this as a, but a question generally has, what if, like usually other my friends and all have is that, what if in between the programs they really want to come back to mainstream? So there's a fear or doubt. So usually I think if that can be answered by you, so.
As in, you're saying midway they want to go to the mainstream education.
Like, if do you uh, does CoVersity also support this concept that like there's the concept of private candidature in colleges also these days,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where they can opt like their first year, second year, it can go in tandem with your this CoVersity journey, and at the minimum you can just give a month for the exams, and at least you can keep moving towards the graduation also.
Hmm. Okay, so I think two questions. One is if they want to go back to the mainstream.
Right.
That is definitely a possibility, right? Like it can happen. So, and that's why we say come for at least a year. Ek year ka to gap year or a break year you take and see what
Absolutely.
it's doing to you to get a because it needs that much amount of time. After that, of course, you're free to go back to the mainstream if that's what is working out in your favor. So that's question number one. The second is we say we are not saying like you can't really do this kind of a journey along with anything else. So even when people say NIOS, I'm giving 12th, can I do it together? Say complete your NIOS, because this is the kind of intensity that these youth put in. You're taking up projects, you're doing internships. So some part you'll be in internship. So it becomes really they can't be haggling between two things. So we say go ahead, do your 10th 12th if that's important to you. Come back to us later. I mean, there's always that 1 year is open for you whenever you want to come until that age limit. Yes. So yeah, it won't make sense because this needs, if you see them at campus, they're currently at campus, they finish their internships. The amount of rigor that goes in their daily planning, doing, reflecting, reviewing, they are tied up for like good 8 hours in a day towards their things. Of course, they're having a lot of fun. That's the other aspect. But yeah,
Right.
the domain exploration is thoda intense, so we wouldn't recommend doing it with anything else.
Right. Right.
So Kritika, do you offer, so we are not in Bangalore, so we're out in Bombay. So we would, if we had to consider it, make our own arrangements for the stay of the child or whatever, right?
No, we have a campus, Nikita, and
Oh, okay.
that's where we all live together. Like, I
Okay.
am in Bangalore, but the cohort, the rest of the community. So if you become part of CoVersity, the child will be at the, sorry, not child, the teen will be at the
The
campus,
team. Yeah.
the
Yeah. Okay.
on-campus phase, and
Okay.
whenever they are opting for their internships, they're away from campus. So that could mean they could be in their hometowns if they're taking up an internship there.
Okay.
If they're taking some, the older ones, they are taking, if their internship requires them to be in a new city, like VP's daughter, she was in Bangalore. They are from Anantapur, but for her internship, she's 20, she was in Bangalore.
Okay.
Yes, so the off
Okay.
campus is really off campus. It could be
Okay.
anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so what if a child, I keep saying child, teen, comes to you with some preconceived notion that, yes, this is what I want to pursue, but they could be right or wrong because
Sure,
they may
sure.
not necessarily know what they want to pursue.
Mm.
Do you also have like some sort of I don't know, a career counseling, somebody who talks to them, somebody who
Hello.
evaluates? I don't know. I mean, currently in my son's school, they did do a career counseling. We got the
Oh.
results, but I don't know how much of it to take at face value.
Sure, sure. So Nikita, I'm just posing the question back to you. How will one really know?
Yeah, that's
By
also good.
doing, right? Only
That's
once we
also true.
experience it. That's why we have this option ki there is this flexibility ki after 6 months, and in this 6 months you're doing work in that domain, you're going out in the industry and maybe taking up an internship or doing, kind of connecting and doing something to get an idea ki okay boss, this is what it feels like to be in a
Working
industry like
environment.
this. And after 6 months you have that
Understood.
flexibility, and that's an informed decision, na? Because you
Yeah,
kind of experienced it and then you're saying, okay, this is not working for me. So you're not being penalized for that
true,
decision. You're saying, okay, there are more options. Look at something else.
true. Okay, okay. And do you have teens with learning difficulties, learning challenges as well, who've come to you?
Learning difficulties, as in, you're saying people like teens who are, or students who are not okay with reading, writing, giving exams. Uh,
So when I say my son has learning difficulties, he has dyslexia
okay,
and dyscalculia. So he's not doing math at all.
sure.
And while his language skills, English, no other language, no regional languages, only English. While his English speaking languages are fluent, it's only the small spelling errors when he's actually writing that come
Yeah,
into play. But
sure. Sure.
so right now also, I mean, the subjects he's doing are economics, business studies, but yeah, because it's NIOS, the volume is of course much, much smaller in comparison to what the normal children are doing. So
Okay.
do you have young
Yes.
adults like that as well?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. We have had children who had to drop out because they were not able to write or not give exams, and so one of them is really passionate about bikes and automobiles. So he's gone that route. Doesn't require any writing, reading,
Yeah,
or anything, because that's where his full interest
interest.
is. So he just completed his internship with a Tata Motors Service Center. And in fact, he was the only child or only teen who was like directly, otherwise they only take polytechnic students.
Right,
So I'm saying, I'm just trying to bring into picture that the industry is also very open.
right.
Uh, I'm not saying all of them,
Not all, yeah.
but definitely a huge chunk is more than open to incorporate these kind of
Right.
learners.
I have a question to ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, with regards to the learning tools at Aarohi there, say whether it's the infrastructure or the learning material or the personals involved, can you elaborate on it? Say a particular domain a child chooses, and how does he go about learning that at the campus there?
Okay. That's a good question. But that's also a question. Okay, let me show you one video. Maybe that will help you get some idea. Meanwhile, while we are just inching closer to the end of the session, I've shared a poll for us to know what are your needs and how we can be in touch or connect further or give value in that terms. So please fill that poll. Meanwhile, I will show you the video that I'm talking about. Second.
Kritika, we can't hear the volume.
Sorry, I forgot to share the sound.
I engage in real industry work. At CoVersity, learning is from and for the industry. We learn by doing work that is related to industry, to projects, internship, voluntary, etc. As for me, I'm working with a client to create a bookshelf using coconut for our cafe.
Okay, sorry, I'm just okay. I'll just show one more video. So this is David, and actually David is we have another video, but I don't think we have the time. I will share the links to our YouTube. We have all these videos, so do go through them at your own time. David was not interested in reading, writing, giving exams. All waste of time is what he said. He was like, I want to do hands-on work, and he went on to taking up carpentry. And yes, as part of his internship, he was with a firm who were into interiors, more so the woodwork kind of thing. So he was involved in the renovation of a house, the interiors, and the jazz. So the idea is there are so many possibilities in terms of how we can learn. Be it a domain that requires a lot of physical infrastructure like carpentry, or there's one girl who is into natural building or mud constructions, and there is one girl who is into VP's daughter who is into baking. So all of them are carrying on with their learning, and more so by doing. So I will just show Srijani's video in terms of how she's going about. Okay.
I have my cohort always by my side. We plan and reflect on our work together, which gives us more focus and structure in our learning. I'm exploring my passion towards baking. I create my CoVersity learning journey according to my aspirations, learning style, and resources.
Okay, maybe just one last video, and if we have more questions, we can take that. I think this is a very interesting video. This is from a mom. I think it's very kind of.
So she's in the area of counseling. So I asked her, what do I do with this child? He doesn't want to get into math, science, or not even commerce. Or Even literature, if I want him, he doesn't want to go to college. What do I do? She said, what are his strengths? I said, he can't do math properly. He can't speak the language the way I speak because again it requires learning and he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want me to help him. But what are the other things? Those are not strengths. Those are functional skills to live in a world. But what are his core strengths? What are his natural strengths? Uh, I had no answer. Then she told me, go back and again observe your son. See what are his core strengths. That's when I actually observed my son with taking the lens of judgment, because all through these years I was judging him. I was judging him with the lens that the society gave me. So this is how he should be. This is how he should have been at this age. This is how he should have been at this age. And these are the things he should have learned. But what are his natural strengths? I didn't know that.
What if you don't have to go to college to learn something or get a degree? Then you can go to real industry and do work with them. Like how I'm learning by working in car industry with automobile technicians and experts.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave you all with that thought. Somewhere, even as Nikita was saying, otherwise a bright child, we've come to, kind of bucket our children or youth into this is how they should lead their journey, or this is how they are expected to be. We are saying let's come out of that bucket, and there is a world of possibilities that we can explore. Yes, and everyone can chart their journey. That's the simple way we look at it. We don't look at learning difficulties or learning disabilities. Everyone can lead their journey in the way they want to, in the way they want to design their journey. So that's the thought I want to leave you all with. Okay. VP is asking me to play one more video. Are you guys open to seeing one more video, or you're like, okay, too many for? Okay, shall we play one more video?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, let me just pull that up.
So obviously, after I've thought, or rather decided, that I wanted to take design as a career, the go-to option was join a design college. So that's what even I thought, or my family thought, just, and I was confused, uh, because I didn't know which branch would suit me. I got to know about CoVersity, which was really interesting for me, because there was choice, or rather there was option of exploring different things, trying things out in an actual industry itself, or in actual projects, like real life projects and industry.
So just kind of sharing Shreya's story. She took a gap from college. I mean, after her 12th, she took a gap. As she said, she wanted to look at designing, but which area of designing was not sure. So then she joined CoVersity she thought I'll take a gap year and look at it. Uh, and then she did not go back to college. In that 1 year, she explored all the aspects of designing. She looked at interiors, product designing, logo designing, game designing, and these were all actual projects that she took up. Ultimately, she felt that, okay, as of now, I really want, UI, UX or web designing is something that I'm really enjoying, especially the user interface, user experience aspect. She went deeper. It's been 1.5 years for her, and just recently, she completed her internship with a UI UX design firm. So, that's what that 1 year can do. That can more so it can equip you to kind of, start leading yourself in whatever direction that you want to chart your journey towards. Okay, one last video that VP has insisted, maybe we can finish with that.
I also build myself to take charge of my life. On this journey, along with professional expertise, I'm building my skills to take on any of life's challenges. This journey pushes me to figure things out, make mistakes, reflect from them, and keep moving on. Being with the cohort, I learn to be a team player and coexist with diverse personalities.
Okay. This would be an interesting for you to get a sense of what the campus and day looks like. Yeah, so that's really a typical day. So that's why we say it's very difficult to do this with something else because, throughout the day, there's so many aspects that you're looking at, right? From your fitness to your, self-development and all the other aspects. So, all right, I hope everyone has filled the form because that's how we'll be able to be in touch with you. Yes, and we keep having these orientations every Wednesday, but we can always connect one-on-one further in terms of what you are needing. Yes, I think thank you. It was wonderful connecting with all of you and knowing all of you. I hope to kind of, connect further with you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.